Well, we do have some pleasant changes to our weather pattern taking over the next day or two here, and we'll have a breakdown of that for you. I'm meteorologist Josh Morses, and this is your Wednesday morning forecast update. We do have a dry cold front on the way later today. This isn't going to be the front that finally brings the fall weather, but it is going to give us some much cooler nights and mornings. The afternoons will stay fairly warm through the end of the week, but losing the humidity will give us some great feeling weather, honestly, for the next 3 to 4 days or so, and likely dry for the rest of this week, and I'm thinking most of next week is going to be dry as well, so we'll continue to see some of those drought conditions likely expand here, and that kind of coincides with the drying of the season here as the leaves dry out, change colors here, so I do think we'll probably see some burn bans over the next week or two. We'll touch on that as we continue through the next few weeks. We're in a pretty good spot here today as that dry cold front will begin to swing through here this morning. I'm expecting we'll be partly to mostly cloudy today. Pretty warm this morning. We had a lot of that warm air get pulled in yesterday. We topped out in the 90s, and temperatures this morning in the upper 60s, low 70s. There's not as much fog out there. That was an issue on Tuesday morning. Won't be as much of an issue today. And the wind has already turned to the north, so that's what we've been kind of looking forward to here, is that northeast breeze beginning to push the humidity out, and your temperatures today will top out in the mid 80s, a little cooler than yesterday. You are going to feel the mugginess through the afternoon. The dew point here is currently in the 60s and low 70s, and I'll show you the dew point scale. Again, that is simply a measure of the humidity. Usually in the summer, early fall, we see that between 65 and 75 degrees, so that puts us very much in the humid category. Once the front rolls through and then tonight we begin to dry out, we're actually going to get back here to the refreshing category, and I'll show you that later tonight. You can see around 4 or 5 p.m. the dew point still running high, so you'll feel that humidity all day today, but that goes away tonight with the dew point settling back into the 50s, so that's what's going to give us the cooler nights and mornings for the rest of the week, and some of the great feeling afternoon weather likely for the next 3 to 4 days as well. So look here at your Robinson Futurecast mentioned likely a dry front here. It doesn't look like we'll see any rain showers get stirred up. There's just enough moisture with the dew point running as high as it is that I did include just a 10% chance of maybe just a rogue shower or storm today, but that's looking doubtful for most locations here. And as that dry air settles in tonight and the humidity drops, we'll have a lot of sunny days to follow here. In fact, we'll likely stay mostly sunny through about Saturday here, but you can see losing the humidity has such a big effect on the night and morning temperatures, so those of you that like to sit out in the evening or go out early in the morning and just kind of enjoy the cooler nights and mornings, you'll get plenty of that for the rest of the week. Your lows tonight into the 50s as well as the 60s, and highs tomorrow. Pleasant day. Will be under the sun, low to mid 80s, no humidity to be felt for your Thursday. In fact, a few areas in Arkansas will top out in the 70s there. We'll keep that great weather going through the end of the week. It will get a little warmer over the weekend, but the weekend mornings will still be in the 50s and 60s. The daytime highs will likely top out in the 80s, and we're back to near 90s. So next week, if we're close to 90, that's near record levels, and I think we are going to stay warm and dry for most of next week as well. I would say our next cool down, maybe not until late next week or next weekend, but probably that next front that comes through, that will be the one that really gives us the cooler weather for good. But it does appear that we're going to be dealing with these warm temperatures likely for at least the next week or two.